Fantastic.
Sorry about this. Okay. So I'm going to use a bit of this slide only because some of my surgical videos were not coming up when I checked. So the whole debate is about whether it's actually necessary to invest in the high-end machines that the company sell us. Do we really need them, or is it just a fad? So when we talk about any kind of innovation, we know how we started our OTs from peristaltic machines, then we came on to the dual machines, and now we are at the end spectrum, and God knows what after this with the femto laser. So the debate here is that we start from cataract is no more restorative. We know that it's refractive. The profile of our patients has changed. The demand of our patients have changed. So the equipment which we give them when we want to give them results, it becomes very important. So let's just talk about facts. And as Dr. Jenin rightly pointed out, of course, you need a good driver to drive the car. But if your car is not good enough, then here we are not taking any chances because it changes people's lives. So all those words which Dr. Jenin had beautifully used, and she's a great surgeon and has great technique, but those may, we may get a surge, we may have a rent, we may have this. So the investing in the high-end machine takes control of that may part. Right. Not only this, apart from what you're seeing on the screen, the higher-end machines give you, it also saves you a lot of ectopics, and it's resulting in a longer life for a surgeon. So today's phacoemulsification incorporates advanced technology, has very clever design elements, and that makes the cataract surgery safer, faster, and less taxing for the surgeon. So I'll just share like what we use in our OT now is the Centurion machine, for example. It uses the active fluidic system, and it's designed to maintain the target pressure inside the eye. And it does it by having a variable rather than a static input. So the bag of fluid is inserted in the machine. It has pressure sensors, it has plates. It's able to change the pressure in the bag very rapidly in response to any kind of feedback from the sensors and maintain that rock stable anterior chamber. So apart from the two advantages is also the fluorinated tubings which have been modified, the two pumps which are configured, which cancels out those small pulsation that a peristaltic pump in our older machine used to produce. Those small pulsations have traditionally been the downside of the peristaltic pump technology. And the rotative valves in this, so any kind of active fluidic now has sensors. So before the optical break happens, before the surge happens, the machine will put in some extra fluid there to maintain your chamber, and it makes your life very, very, very comfortable. So it's so adaptive and adjustable with the whole automated procedure. So it could be like the White Star technology, where they have something called as fusion fluidics, where they have incorporated both the peristaltic technology to give you great holdability and intraoperative control, and also gives you a venturi system which has great followability. So you're not running after segments. So, in these kind of cases where you are grade 5, these machines give you the power to use minimum energy, so you're phaco-efficient, and you're using them with maximum confidence. So, for example, if I show you here, if you see the folding, and it's a grade 5 cataract, the chamber is rock solid throughout. And people who we need to know. So, stability in a hard cataract. So similarly here, if you see, we are very wary of patients with optic nerve compromise in glaucoma and ischemia. So in machines like this, we can actually do the whole of cataract surgery with low IOP at almost 20 maintained throughout. So if you see in this particular video, we have finished a whole grade 3 to 4 surgery with the IOP maintained, which is not gravity control, and the sensor sense how much fluid to give in, and hence I can do the whole surgery at an IOP of 20, which is a great thing for patients with compromised optic nerve. Similarly, what high-end machines do when we need them most is the vitrectomy. It is smaller gauge. It has got higher cut rates than our previous machine. So here is a subluxated case where I already had a vitreous before I started the case. So the machine gives me the privilege of doing a beautiful vitrectomy before I start, and henceforth just carry on with my case easily, where I can use the capsular hook and on. No question that technique is needed, but machines do make your life comfortable. So if I go back to why should we invest in the technology, we know all about this, that we want uniform performance every time, and time saved is money earned in high volume OT. So hence we need those higher end machines. And if you know how to drive, I mean, it's very, very obvious what you will want to choose. Would you want to choose this or would you want to choose this? So the only problem is if you want a high-end car or a high-end machine, where does the money come from, right? Now, is cost really an issue? With in current scenario, we have bank loans, we have deferred payments, we have leases, we have rentals, sharing. So I don't think this is really a reason for us not to invest in high-end machines. And every single surgeon of ours here has upgraded. And to know your enemy, no, to know my friend, Dr. Jenin is a good friend. And I know that she has upgraded from Infinity to Centurion. So I rest my case here. Even my opponent has went ahead and invested in a high-end phaco machine. So I would just like to conclude that, yeah, use the best of both the opportunities. And thank you so much. And I have to rush and collect my bag now.
You did a wonderful job. Both of you spoke very well. And I know both of you were traveling. It doesn't matter. We're not going to ask your questions. Your part of the debate is done.